The eighth day of Navaratri, 8 figure 8, is a symbol for detachment. So the theme today is not being attached to my attachments. We are going to be attached to something, someone, or the other. We are attached to our preferences, our ideas, our desires, and of course, the people that we're attached to, our loved ones. That by itself, it's natural. We somehow can manage it. Because if we are not attached to our loved ones, then who and what will we be attached to? Let's address that question right away, which is really the conclusion. That is, be attached to your goals. Be attached to what you really want. Be attached to your manifestations. Be married to them and be attached to the high seat, to your God. Being married and being true to yourself. And that's not selfish. All the great people were not selfish. They were great because they were monomaniacally focused, dedicated to their goals. Problems happen when we become attached to our attachments. We want what we want, when we want, how we want, and any deviation from that really upsets us. You could say, well, that is attachment. Fair enough. Somehow we get so attached to our way of thinking, our beliefs, our ideas, our outcomes, our values, that we turn a blind ear and blind eye towards other perspectives and possibilities. The solution is listen first to yourself, and then, of course, listen to people. When people talk, listen, not just hear. The problems in relationships, whether it is familial, friends, corporate, that people are not really paying attention to what is heard, then it's very hard to get the outcome that you want. They didn't really pay attention to it. So it starts from me. I have to pay attention to and not judge what I want. This is 2023, and the world has become very open. The kind of jobs that are available today, they were unheard of 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Let's swim in this ocean of possibilities by affording myself to do what I want to do in my life, the way I want to do in my life, by listening to myself, by listening to what I want, by listening to my pain, by listening to my suffering, by understanding myself, by supporting myself. Being attached to myself to the point that I have self confidence. I have to be confident in myself, and I can't be confident in myself if I am not listening to myself. Then you will say, which voice am I listening to? Pay attention to all the voices, and through your inner wisdom, you'll be guided to the voice of your higher consciousness. Just listen. It will guide you to it. When your higher consciousness knows that you are paying attention to finding the inner voice, it will find a way to find you, to find itself. And once you start listening to and following your inner voice becomes more clear, more loud, and you become more immediately available to it. When I'm attached to myself, but not attached to other people's ideas and keep them at arm's length distance, I protect myself. I bend, I sway, I dodge instead of being hit by the onslaught of other people's actions because I'm coming in their way because of my attachment. So instead of me being attached to the negativity of other people, how about me being attached to my own positivity, self love, self confidence, realizing my own goals, self realization, focusing on only things that I have control over, which is me. I don't have any control over anything outside of me. I don't have control over the weather. I don't have any control of what other people think, what other people want, of what other people do. It's their choice. And when things are really bothering me, I can do figure eight with them. We have tools and practice being in the circle of golden light on a daily basis, connecting with the higher consciousness on a daily basis in whichever way, whether it is through the maypole, through some meditative practice, through tree exercise. Who can I depend on? Who is the most dependable entity? It is my own higher consciousness. So ask through prayers, through hourglass, and what you want for other people, afford them the same opportunity by doing floating hourglass over them. Attachment is not a terrible thing when it is directed in a right way, in limited quantities. I love me is also a form of attachment, isn't it? But it's a healthy attachment. I love God is also a healthy attachment. I loved my loved ones is a healthy attachment. And then having the freedom of choice, affording other people freedom of choice. I love you, but you do what you will. I won't come in your way. If I differ in my opinion, I will say it nicely once, twice, thrice, and then I'll let it be. Then I can pray for your well being. In summary, not being attached to my attachments, instead being attached to myself through self confidence, being attached to my goals for my manifestations, and being attached to God, my higher consciousness. I love me. And when I love me, and when I'm focused on my goals, then I'm not bothered by other people's negativity. And I wish the best for them. And whenever time and opportunity affords me, I do a little service.